So Christian, I will be speaking today on the subject of small business and running your own small business as in regards to carpentry and construction field. I'm sure many of you are familiar with the phrase, oh no. Like when I first found out I had to give a speech, it was, oh no, I didn't want to do it. Oh no generally means something that's not all that bad, but it happens and we deal with it. However, in the carpentry business especially, oh no means something a lot worse. Oh no is always a statement of horror. It's usually an oh no in the carpentry field means you have to start over, you have to go backwards, or you have to spend a lot more money than you were prepared to spend. So with that in mind, my main goal and purpose in this speech today is to give you information on the field of carpentry and small business. As far as my credentials, I have been running my own small business for about a year and a half with my brother. And in the carpentry field, we have done many different things from roofs, floors, to add-ons, sheds, and many other small jobs. The three main points I would like to focus on today is the difficulties of starting a small business. Second would be the ethical issues in starting a small business. In carpentry would be the field that I would be focusing on. And the third main point is how you can glorify God in your small business. My first main point I would like to bring up is the difficulties. First off, from the Tennessee University Research Center, it is discovered, it has been found out anyways, that in the research business, the carpentry business, that 53% of all carpentry small businesses will go out of business within the first 4 years. That means there's about roughly, within 4 years, a 47% success rate in the carpentry business. This in itself is a difficulty, and it can lead to many problems, especially with maintaining client and customer base. Also, a big part of carpentry is doing good work. You got to make sure that you have return clients, because clients can come along with the time. You have to keep up, and you always have to be able to do whatever it takes to please that customer. Now, as far as the other point I would like to make is, let's see here, another difficulty in starting a small business is that it roughly takes $30,000 on average to start a small business. And these are estimates from the SBA government website. $30,000 is just the startup cost. That's what you have to sink into equipment, insurance, bills. You generally have to get right away an LLC or a partnership, and you have to use a lawyer and all that other stuff to get that figured out. And as far as my second main point, ethical issues in starting a small business and carpentry is, right now, according to the United States Bureau of Labor Statistics, at this point in time right now, the carpentry industry is looking at a 20% growth. What this means is, from the year 2010 to 2020, the business of carpentry is expected to grow by 20%. And this is a very large number for most fields. And so there is a lot of competition, which also brings up the ethical issues of cutting corners, trying to get more jobs done, being able to beat out your other client or outbid another client, being to outbid your competition. Now, a lot of times you will offer a price in carpentry that is not a price that is a decent price to give, but you give it that way to get the job. But then in order to make up for that, you have to cut corners, you have to do a bad job a lot of times, and you don't, carpenters a lot of times do not tell the client, customer, this information. Therefore, when they start doing a job, they'll cover it up, and it will look just like any other job, but they'll be faulty underneath in many areas. As for, let's see here, excuse me, apologize. As for my third point, there are ways that you can glorify God in this field. First off, God values honesty. God values self-control. Self-control in our field can be readily established through the acts of knowing what your limitations are, knowing what you can and cannot do. Also, self-control in the area of finance. knowing what your limits are in spending, knowing what you can offer your customers, and honesty. Honesty is probably the fundamental thing for a small business in carpentry, is knowing how to be honest with your customers and let them know that what they want and what they can afford, what you can offer them the price for, and also let them know about mistakes you made. And instead of trying to put those mistakes on the customer and try to work it into the bill, letting them know and taking the blame yourself, because that's a way to get better business. As far as ethical things concerned, there was research done by an institute at Kaufman that suggested they did a study on businesses where they took businesses who did not have ethical backgrounds or did not practice ethics, and businesses that were proven to have ethics and an ethic code and a clear ethic code. The people with the ethic code, the businesses, did much better business than the other industries. Excuse me, that's my daughter. So that would be another way that it pays to be ethical in business. We can glorify God by these things, and as the Apostle Paul once said, whether in Colossians 3:17, no matter whatever you do, by word or by deed, do it all to the glory of God. Do it all to the glory of the Father through Jesus Christ. This is one of the most main points in doing anything. It's when you glorify God in a small business or any other area, your main goal is to glorify God. C.S. Lewis put it this way, when it comes to priorities. And with our priorities, if you put first things first, you get second things thrown at you. If you put second things first, you not only get the first things, but you don't get the second things